Welcome. We'll wait just a few seconds to let everyone join and then we'll begin. All right, looks like we can start. Welcome to the Healthcare Lounge. We have a special edition today, Reset Before the Onset with Nama Opozniak. So now I will turn it over to Nelson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Healthcare Lounge. It is fabulous to have you here. And as we are about to hit fourth quarter, I have a tremendous guest who is going to bring us some practical and actionable ideas on how you can get through the fourth quarter in peak condition at your peak performance. So Nama, it is so fantastic to have you here. Are you in LA today?
No, I'm actually in San Diego in the EBN conference. Benefits for employers,
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful San Diego. So let's jump into this because I know you've got a lot to share. First of all, let me ask, as these advisors are chomping at the bit to get into fourth quarter, they've got a stack of renewals on their desk, and a lot of open enrollment meetings to do. They've got a lot on their plate. What strategies can we implement during this Q4 enrollment period that will allow us to maintain a sense of calm and balance in the midst of all this chaos?
So thank you, Nelson, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today, but always, because I believe we are connected on a spirit and on a different level, not just physically. So first of all, the first technique is to know that we're all on this together. It's a ride, it's a journey, it's an actual actions that we all have to take in order for us to first of all be good and better for ourselves. So we are putting the mask as the oxygen when we fly, first on our face before we do it for our kids even. So I think that it's, first of all, I mean, we all juggling so much. Some of us throughout the year, but this 3 months are like a bottleneck of stress. So some of us will feel it here, some of us will feel it in our belly, some of us will feel it in our complete body, energy and heaviness. But also, please remember, we are going in so many places in the world, but also, in the US, we are going into winter time. So in winter time, it's always a heavier energy. And what recommend during the winter time always is to go within. So try to spend more time with yourself, with your inner self, with your inner well-being, than rather the being outside, out there, and all the time try to accomplish so much at once. So I prepare a slide, and if we can share the slide, because I think the techniques that we need to use, not just for the fourth quarter, but to decide that this is what we are implementing in our lives. And I was connecting with Kendall just before this session, and I said, I share this slide with every open enrollment, with every employees groups, with every colleagues, with everybody that I can share it with, because this is how we should run and could run our lives daily. This is also an amazing reminder for myself. Every time I talk about it, it's another layer. Oh, okay, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So even if you take 2 or 3 things from today's session, and Nelson, I know we keep talking about stress reduction, lower cost for employees, potential of expansion of ourselves, but this slide is a miracle. It's being served on so many levels, and just try to stay here with me and understand what I'm saying. And I'm not talking about anything like extreme. It's just a tweak and it's just a reminder. So, first of all, food is medicine. If you didn't hear it till now, food is medicine. So during this period of time when we are very, very stressed, I think that eating lighter, it's best. Also making sure we adding vegetables and fruit and vegetable to our diet. And if we can eliminate sugar, what happened with sugar? Sugar is putting us down, putting us up for 1 second, but then the rest of the day we are down. So if you start your morning with anything that you start with, your ritual, whatever you do, and keep it lighter during these 3 months, it's going to help us all to overcome anything that we have to go through. So, mindfulness. This is, I think, it's an overused word, and the word is like basically what it means to be mindful is bringing ourselves into the present moment and making sure we are not juggling from one activities to another or multitasking. I know some of us are great multitaskers, but being mindful about doing things will allow us to have more time. For example, if we eat, we sit and eat. Don't look at your phone. If you have 5 minutes to eat, if you have 10 minutes to eat, whatever it is that you have the time, just sit down and eat. Be mindful about your food. When you drive, sometimes we take calls when we drive. We try to, I don't know, make appointments during driving. Just drive. Try it. Try it for a few days. When you drive, you drive. Don't do anything. Just drive. And it also allows us to have breaks during the day. So spending time in quiet space, moving ourselves into quiet space is key for this last quarter. Having time on our schedule to let go of anything around us and just start taking intentional breath. For example, if somebody is making you, like let's say a client, it doesn't matter what it is, it can be an employee, it can be a client, it can be anything that we have to deal with, making you upset, grinding about so much, the cost. Most of us are dealing with the cost of healthcare in the US, but also globally, which is a problem. And most of the time we are the bearer of bad news, so we get the heat. So you sit on the phone and you listen and you take intentional breath. And if you can, you take one breath, inhale and then exhale, and you say, this is for my body. And then you take another inhale and exhale, and you say, this is for my spirit, for my soul. And then you take another huge inhale and exhale. And this is for everything else that we would like to welcome in our body, our health, our well-being, our mindful moments, which again, remember, being mindful is just moving ourselves into the present moment. Nothing more than that, but we need to practice it every day. Starting your morning in gradually way to just wake up and not going after our phones or our laptop or conversations will be critical as well. So you see the guy who drinks water down here? The water is critical to our well-being. If you can start the morning with 2 glasses of hot water with lemon, if possible with lemon, if not, just warm water, in general, by the way, to drink warm water will calm us energetically and will allow our body to recover from anything we need. But drinking 2 glasses in the morning, right after we wake up, and then spending whatever time you have in stillness and quiet space. And I know a lot of us are referring it to meditation, but trying to not have thoughts in the morning, to take this time, to just breathe and sit and inhale and exhale intentionally for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for whatever time will change, trust me on that, your energy and the entire process of the third quarter. Then be social. I know we're busy. I know we are really trying to juggle, and a lot of us are leading big teams. And I think it's true for the employers as well. They are in a very crunch time during the third quarter. So we have to understand that they also going through a lot of stress. And for us, letting go effortlessly, not pushing so much all the time, is going to be key. So spending time, making sure you have on your schedule at least twice a week to either go on a date with your loved one or just friends around, and just make sure you family, whatever it is for you, but make sure you are out there with friends. The vitamin D. The vitamin D, again, we are going into the winter, so it might be tough. And this is why I have this on the third quarter slide, is because sometimes just taking supplement for vitamin D will do the job, will do the trick. So vitamin D is very important. You always have to consult your doctor because, we each have a different, a body, but vitamin D, either take it or make sure you leave your desk and you go outside to spend time with the sun, whatever. If it's 5 minutes sun or 10 minutes sun, just time it and just be outside and spend some time in a warm energy. Keep it positive. So to keep it positive, it's funny because, I always have to remind myself, and sometimes my kids are reminding me because, if I get upset about something, they goes like, where is your positive energy? So we do need to make sure that we keep it positive. Emails, bad emails, energy that we get, or harsh criticism, or situation that is unbearable, or clients that keep complaining, or keep wondering, what should I do? Because again, the decision that we make on behalf of our clients are critical, and staying and keeping it positive when you get the 45% rate increase is also a journey and a learning curve, to accept it with love and understand that also we always have the right, I would say, clients. We always have the right employees, I believe. We always have the right clients. We always have the right mentors. We always, even if it's wrong, because we learn from anyone. We learn from any experience. And some of the experiences that we have in life are actually the problems that we have in life, push us to accept solution that we never had before. And also, if we are going through, sometimes we have to, say goodbye to people, like separation of anything, employees or clients or employers. Accept it with love, stay positive. Remember to reach out to any of us, again, that going through this as well, to make sure that you stay positive. And always remember that every time somebody is leaving you, somebody is, even if it's spiritually or physically, we have room for new. We have room for either new energy, new people, new clients, new employees, and new way of providing healthcare to our to this universe, because I travel a lot and I see and I come across a lot of global access to care. And I must tell you something. First of all, we have to learn of everywhere in the world, but we also sometimes forget how good we have it in the US. So, it comes with a miracle and a curse. Gratitude. So every day, you know, is we have to, we have reason to be grateful for. Even if we think that the world is, everything is like horrible and things are terrible. And we can always find, there is news from every country in the world about situation, politics, separation. It's so hard to disasters. We are experiencing disaster from all over the world. Thousands of people are dying in so many places in the world. So staying in grateful moments every day, to have a list, either physically or just a list in general, like list the reason to stay grateful, to be grateful, and to just, make sure that we always count our blessings. So that's really, really critical to our everyday, but fourth quarter, and it should be part of our decision to make a difference in our life. Nelson, any questions so far? Any
Well,
comments?
I've got a number of questions I want to ask you, but I wanted to mention for those who are in the room who may not know you, I wanted to point out that you are a veteran of the health insurance industry. So when you talk about fourth quarter and the stress, you have lived it and know it well. But Nama is also known internationally in what I'll call holistic wellness circles. She is a friend and confidant of Deepak Chopra. She makes the rounds of international conferences on topics like meditation and mindfulness, as well as NFTs and crypto and other cutting edge technologies. So Nama brings a world of experience and expertise and life with her. She's one of the most well-rounded people I know. So Nama, speaking of mindfulness, and I should let everyone know, I absolutely love, and I use that word all caps with all emphasis, I love this woman. She is one of the kindest and sweetest and finest people I know. So, and you've got this on video now. That's testimonial. So let's talk about mindfulness for a moment. I think a lot of people are a little bit confused about mindfulness. What exactly does that mean? And more importantly, how are there exercises around mindfulness we can use to, recharge our physical, our mental, our emotional energies, during a time when there's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on us? And are there any specific exercises or techniques that we can incorporate into our daily routine that you can share with us?
Yes. So first of all, thank you again, Nelson. I do love you beyond beyond this world. So, and appreciate who you are and how much you are, your efforts of creating an environment, especially for people who specializing in health and well-being and health insurance and solution in the healthcare industry, is beyond, I think, I don't think everyone really realizes well, and the lowering cost of care and how much you care about the care and your expansion of understanding healthcare, like when we were in Cayman Island, for example, to approach other way and modalities. And now open to merge the world of healthcare, which is basically the Eastern, the Chinese medicine, the Western on the physical level. So amazing. And that's what will lower cost for employers. I mean, this is if employers ever overlooking, the opportunity to move from different type of ways of covering their employees, because this is not just a piece of paper. A health insurance is not just a piece of paper. It's a whole holistic way of moving employers and employees into a conversation. How can we lower cost of care? What can we do in order to lower cost of care? And it can be a lot of mental health. And I think that the mindfulness for your question is very tied to the mental health. So I really feel so happy that in the last, I would say, and again, it all comes from curses, but I mean, the miracles are showing up as people really starting to talk about the mental and how we need to take care of our mental health every day. And it ties to the being mindful, because we first need to take care of ourselves. It's really, I know it sounds like in some cultures, by the way, it sounds like, oh, you're going to be selfish now and take care of yourself. But taking care of yourself can look different for me and for you. But there are some basic actions that we can all take together. And it starts from a decision. So we need to decide, make a decision that from now on, we're practicing mindfulness. We're practicing our mental health. We're checking in with ourselves and understand that we cannot get to, we are not delivering, I mean, we do in the US, sick care. We are taking care of ourselves to heal, to go on this journey, to be on this journey, to ride this journey of healing every day, every moment, not to get to a point that we are reaching the cliff. So it's right before October 1st. We all got all the renewals right now and already dealing with the upcoming, mostly employers, but it's a bottleneck. It's Medicare, it's individual, it's all the federal change that are now renewing at once. And then we have a lot of clients that traveling globally, and expats and inbound coverage, healthcare and outbound. So we really need to move ourselves into several activities that will create a life-changing. So first of all is being mindful, present in the present moment, whatever we do. So when we talk to a client, where we are in a meeting, where we are sitting with our teams, with anything we do, we focus on one thing. Try to stay away from your phone. It's hard because then you get a text, then somebody call you, then and then the emails. So designate time to do every special activities, especially our emails. For me, I must tell you, it's the amount of emails. It's endless amount of emails, and I think that, and I'm someone that's really on top of everything. So there's no way you send me an email and I'm not going to respond. But I have so many emails. So I'm not treating my email as a phone, or if you call me and I'm answering. No, I treat my email. When I work on my email, I designate 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever I have on my email, and I work on my email, So just doing that, as far as, again, for ourselves, because also with mindfulness, we cannot come to our teams or our families or our employees and say, you now start being mindful, you now start meditating, you now start eating well, unless we are doing it ourselves, unless we're practicing it ourselves. And this is something that I religiously reminding myself too, because sometimes we approximated things, it's like that's the way we are, I mean, and we forget, we all forgot. It's unbelievable, because you think that the people that we're born with meditation and yoga in India. I just been in India a couple of weeks ago. If you think that they not forgotten, you are mistaken. Everyone forgot. Everyone is forgetting all the time. It's not something that we can guarantee if we're doing it today, we'll do it tomorrow. And that's why I think we fell off the wagon sometimes. But again, taking action, regardless if you are feeling now stress or if you are well or not well, or have a condition or not, we all should do it together and start practicing being in the present moment and working in segments and making sure we have time, even during last quarter, to reach out to loved one. Spending outdoor and being in nature is really underestimate, I think, because, you know, and the demand of now working on the computer and laptop, and then it's the phone, and there's social media, and there's so much going on, you know, that alone can kill us, you know, like just the movement and between the machines. And we do need to spend time outdoor. And the last one is, I mean, maybe not the last one, I have another one, but the last one more thing, it will be to take an intentional breath, as I mentioned before. You know, the breath is the break for a breath, and to just breathe. Extra breath a day can change your energy and can change the way you feel about everything. But for example, can you see this? Do you see this? This is stress relief tea. A simple tea. Again, that consult with a doctor. I don't know you guys' condition or anything like that, but that's saving me, you know. Drinking something like that every day, that can literally, the combination of the herbs, you know, and sometimes when I go to China, I bring it from China, you know, so they making so if you have any Chinese medicine doctor in your area, or if even your acupuncturist can make the whole herbs together, that will lower stress. There are specific plants that can lower stress. So you put this in a hot water and you wait 15 minutes and you drink it. What can I tell you? And if you do that and you drink excessively amount of water per day, warm water, it will change the way your body will react also when we need to go through so much, you know, physically, emotionally, and mentally.
Kendall, can you bring up that slide that Nama had up just a few minutes ago? I want to make a point. Thank you. All right, Nama, you will remember when our friend Dr. Anoop Kumar was speaking in LA, when he and I shared the stage when you had us out there for the NABIP LA symposium. And he made the point, and you've got several of them on here, so that's why I wanted to bring this up, that food, rest or sleep, movement, and socialization, interacting with others, are traditional medicine, was the point he made. Those are the traditional medicines that help us stay well, that get us well and keep us well. And only when those traditional medicines fail do we have a need to turn to alternative medicine, such as medications and surgery. And I thought it was such a brilliant point. And you brought up exactly what we need to do to stay healthy, to stay well, and to heal if we are not well, short of us needing medicines and surgery. So I just wanted to make that point, because it sort of closes the loop for those of us on this in this meeting that are healthcare professionals, whether clinicians or advisors to companies. So just wanted to make that point because you brought, I think, up all of the actual traditional medicines that Anoop discussed. So I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, no, and it's unbelievable how people, when I talk about it, people say, "Oh, you're talking about alternative medicine," and I'm like, "No, no, I'm talking about basic information to medicine that if we going to adapt as the traditional one, as the main one, as leading ourselves, and then leading our families, team, um, colleagues, everybody together, if we will be on the same page of understanding that, exactly what you're saying, what Dr. Anoop was saying, and what all the Ayurvedic medicine doctors are actually speaking about and sharing. And that's why I'm so happy, Nelson, that you and I and Kendall and your team is really talking about how to share retreats, specific retreats to allow people to experience the physical aspect of their medicine, not the alternative medicine, the medicine, not the holistic medicine, the medicine. And just as, again, the sleep, we need 8 hours of sleep average per day. And I think that sleep is the underestimated conversation. We cannot talk about sleep enough because people are very light sleepers. It's very hard as we grow older. Sometimes it's very difficult for us to maintain the hours of sleep. So, and again, the nights that I'm having issues sleeping, I meditate. I have a specific meditation for nighttime, and then I wake up in the morning, even though I didn't sleep as well, and I'm refreshed. So that's my technique. But also the steps and the walking. So we are super sedentaries right now. We are super, like, we don't eat. I mean, we don't eat as healthy as we should, but we don't also. And again, it's not about healthy. It's about what we add to our diet to move us into more of the well-digestive system. And again, it depends on where you are in the hemisphere, but winter is naturally more heavier. Like we have holidays coming up, you have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have Hanukkah, you have all these heavy food that we are eating usually during these holidays. So balance it with lighter food and lots of water and less sugar will be very influential to our bodies. But if we move, the movement, and in order for us to move the right amount, to take the right amount of steps per day, you need an hour and a half. You need to put your things down and walk for an hour and a half, and a day, per day. That's the only way you're going to get to about 10,000 steps, unless you're running. But I'm talking about walking because, walk has different effect on the brain, and there are studies about that, than running. And then for your mentioning of being social, I think loneliness is so important because even the ones that you see sometimes being on social media, being out there and talking to everyone, being like a social butterflies in events, they can get lonely. It's actually sometimes lonelier at the top than at the bottom. So I think that, again, and it also tie it up to the mental, and even now when I'm here in EBN, which is a fantastic conference that they put together, where you can really meet the solution for employers as far as a lot of conversation about mental and leadership and how we can lead teams in a way that we make a difference. The conversation here is about compassionate, about empathy, about how we are approaching people. When was the last time you asked your employee or employer, other than the renewals or other than talking to them about, the health solution? When was the last time you had a conversation, you being vulnerable yourself and saying, oh my God, this is happening in my life, my daughter is getting married, or my mom is sick, whatever it is that is making a difference in conversation. You break barriers, you let people feel important, you let, so the energy, social energy evolve, but we do need to start opening from ourselves first in order for the world to be social with us, and reaching up to everyone, to see, to check on, not just in the during the holiday. These people that only call you during the holidays, I mean, just to have once a week, have few people that you reach out and see how they doing and what's up with them and how can you help, or just to share a nice story. It's really the key for us to be healthy and I think wealthy, because when we are on a healing journey, and it's a journey till the day we close our eyes, we are not, since birth, we are dying. We're not living. Very simple. So it is a journey and it's a process, and every day to show that we're showing up and we're making each and every one of us stronger while doing it, you know?
You mentioned empathy a minute ago. When things are stressful, when things are challenging, difficult, and Q4 in our industry is challenging and difficult, and people are not going to be happy with the renewal increases in a lot of cases. There are going to be mistakes made by these advisors and brokers, and it's very easy to fall into a habit of self-criticism and beating ourselves up. Do you have any tips or techniques for practicing self-compassion and self-empathy, and managing that self-criticism, that inner critic, that we can use during these really stressful times?
Yes, thank you for asking. This is an amazing question to ask. For me, what I found with people the most successful is to have almost like a mantra. And the mantra is the instrument of the mind. It helping us calm our mind. But the mantra, we should adapt, each and every one of us can adapt to choose a mantra, okay? Not the giving mantra, not the one that we're having in a ceremony, or the one that we're having in Sanskrit or in Hebrew, but choose a mantra like, I am who I am, and I do the best I can every day to show up. I am who I am, and every day I do my best to show up. And you continue, you're putting it on a note, you continue saying it over and over and over and over, and this is just an example of a sentence, but what I'm sharing here is choose something that will resonate with you. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am strong. Whatever is, actually keep it either simple or be more complicated. But I think that repetition of affirmation will allow us all to feel better with, it's like when we're sick, when I have and when we deal with healthcare, we have a lot of people are reaching out to us that are very, very sick. I'm sure all of us, and we also have a lot of sick people around us. I'm not sure if it's the time of the year. I'm not sure if it's pollution, food, I don't know, immunization. I don't know. I don't even know what it is anymore, because I don't think nobody actually has the magic wand to know. We all have people who sick around us, so a lot of the time there are some mantras that are specific for healing, and specific for healing our body and helping us overcome a lot of the situation that we have to overcome. And, you know, prevention, you don't have to wait to be sick. You know, prevention is what we call prevention is definitely, yes, of course, going to the doctor, annual physical, women well exam, colonoscopy after age 50, you know, making sure you do that. But what's really prevention? We should ask ourselves, what's really prevention? And some of this affirmation to show up every day, not to wait to be, oh, I'm now over my head, you know, to start doing it. Do it today. Let's start together. Let's continue doing it. Whatever you do, add something, or, you know, I mean, or eliminate something. Try to, if you drink soda, try to eliminate soda, but definitely eliminate the negative conversation that we have in our to ourselves and in our brain at all time, because most of our thoughts are negative, most of the other thoughts, and we are repeating the same negative thoughts over and over and over again to bring ourselves into exhaustion.
Well, what else besides eating well and getting our 8 hours and making sure we have some social activities and drinking water, getting some exercise? What other self-care practices can help us stay grounded and rejuvenated during Q4?
That's really good, another good question, because I can mention, I mean, again, I don't want to overload everybody, but I just want to mention that getting a physical body work, massages with oil, with actually, Kendall, can you bring the next slide so I can actually share the next slide, because this is a good, I actually put it, and these are just an example. You can, again, there are many blends and there are many options, but for example, the rejuvenation of the muscle for using the ashwagandha's oil on your body for massage therapy is physically, so will change the way we feel, but we need to go from the physical, the emotion, and the spirit. So all level of body will cover, and then the mind, we need to take care of the mind. So I would, again, it's all about your doctor, to consult with your doctor, but I think that especially during this fourth quarter, it's like the mental, to stay mental, the mental clarity is very important. So not to be clouder, you know, the mind. So it's support of cognitive, healthier cognitive, healthier brain, because the brain is really the instrument of our healing and well-being. And that's also something that we need to remember always, you know, and the nervous system and how to calm the nervous system. So a lot of what we talked today was about how we can calm our nervous system. Then you have it's called in the Indian language in the East, it's called Abhyanga. Abhyanga is the body work with oil, not with cream, with oil. So, I mean, that's really important to make our body, it's also moving our fascias. It's also, it has such a healing component to, and I mean, listen, everything has. Also going to a therapist, speaking to a therapist, having a coach. I mean, that's things we know, but I think, again, let's start to look about health and relate to it in a way that we can remind ourselves, because a lot of our grandparents and ancestors were practicing this way. So ashwagandha is Indian root, and it is really helping mostly for digestion, and most of our issue in the body start in the gut and inflammation, the disease, and we need to put an attention for inflammation and the gut, the health. The healthier the gut, the healthier we are. And balance the energy. It's also balance the energy to calm our mind, to promote overall strength and vitality. This is a really good supplement. And all natural, all plant-based, all very herbal You know, so again, I mean, you need to consult your doctor, but this is what I recommend, and this is what works for me. Then total body cleanse. So the cleansing can, of course, be physically also, you know, when we are drinking, for example, green juice, you know, like a few times a week, or we drinking cleansing tea, adding as a cleanser, adding more vegetable and fruit, and definitely have less alcohol. I know I'm not saying not alcohol at all, but reducing alcohol can also be a cleansing version of healing our body. And so the total body cleanse is creating the opportunity for our body to be cooling naturally. So, and detoxify. So it's really support the liver, a natural mechanism of us to be on a healthier journey.
You mentioned breathing a minute ago. That's a problem for me. I find myself holding my breath, and I do it. I'll hold my breath going upstairs, for instance. It's just, but certainly when I'm working at the computer, I'll find myself having to take a deep breath because I haven't been breathing. Can you suggest certain breathing exercises or maybe some relaxation techniques that can help me and everyone here stay more centered and focused during, you know, what, a tough season for us, and then we get into the holidays, which are stressful for a lot of people as well. So breathing exercises and relaxation techniques.
Okay. All right. So let's sit very comfortable. Make sure you're comfortable. And again, if you can put a reminder on the phone to do that twice a day, just have your phone reminding you to now it's the breathing time. Okay. But make sure you're comfortable, whatever it is, and comfortability, it's up to us. If you sit, if you lay down, there is no position that is right or wrong. And then there are several techniques, but I can share this one because this one is really, when I do that, I really feel like almost like my entire body is really rejuvenated, you know? So let's sit comfortable. If you can't close your eyes, because the eyes are the mirror of the soul, and then we gonna do this. We're gonna inhale for 4, and we count it ourselves. So not out loud, but you count it mindfully. Like, you know, you're not repeating it out loud, but we're gonna do inhale for 4, then we're gonna hold for 4, then we're gonna exhale for 4, and we're gonna hold the exhale for 4. And we're gonna do it 3 times, and let's do it together so you can really feel the physical aspect of breathing, how influential breathing can really be on our physical body. So let's start. We inhale for 4, we hold for 4, we exhale for 4, we hold for 4, we inhale again, 3, 4, hold for 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and then last inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's hold together for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's move back into just regular breathing. Inhale and exhale, regular breathing. and we can open our eyes whenever we're ready. But this was the breathing exercise. And if you're going to put twice a day a reminder on your phone, it's going to show up as a text, basically. So you're not always going to have, I mean, I think we should choose timing than when it's really we can make it, I mean, most of the days. But sometimes I have a reminder on my phone, and even if I don't have the time to actually take the extra breath, I'm taking it. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, I cannot do it now. I am in a meeting. I'm now doing whatever, and I can't. But it's reminding us. It's actually a good reminder to make it happen and take these extra breath in quiet space or in your desk. I mean, that's things that you can do on in your desk. Also, before you go to sleep. We all go to sleep, to try some breathing exercise and even take 3 breaths. Again, one for the mind, one for the body, one for the emotion. I mean, it's really going to be amazing. Then another technique that I can really share and is, again, putting it on your phone as a reminder to spend time in quiet space. And it can be 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then you time yourself. So you don't have to worry about how long passed, and how much time passed. So we're putting it on our phone, and we just simply, inhaling and exhaling and using, and I like to use also when I lead meditation in groups or sometimes, in big events, or whenever we are in a group and that we are in a group meditation, I always suggest the mantra Soham, Soham, Soham. And it means I am that. Simply as I am that. That's the translation. But mantra do not have translation necessarily, but just to sit for 2 minutes and say to yourself, mentally to yourself, Soham, Soham, Soham. Repeat it, and move your body into these inhale and exhale, and you can follow the inhale and exhale while you're doing it. It's a life-changing.
Yeah, that's great. I'm actually taking mental notes here for myself. I know this is cliche, Nama, but I think everybody here knows how important it is to maintain their automobile. It's an expensive investment. So you change the oil regularly, you get checkups regularly, tune-ups regularly. You put fuel in it. I was driving when I was young. I was still a teenager. My dad gave me an old station wagon that was a diesel station wagon. And one day I was filling up and I was not focused. I was not being mindful. I was paying no attention. And I filled the diesel station wagon up with regular gasoline. Needless to say, it started, but I didn't make it out of the parking lot of the service station. So we know how important it is to maintain our vehicle. And yet we pay so little attention, most of us, to maintaining our body, which, I need that to use my car. And so I really appreciate the reminders here and the exhortation to us to be more mindful about ourselves, self-care, and maintaining the one body we have. And you'll notice that the cars, the old cars that are still on the road with 200, 300 miles, they are in pristine condition in most cases. The owners take care of that car, and that's why they're getting 200, 300,000 miles out of it with no problems to speak of. They're also probably Japanese vehicles too, but that's another story. So in closing, let me ask this. You've touched on this to some extent, but I just had a conversation with Elizabeth, my wife, about I don't. She doesn't feel like enough of a priority for me. That work is too much of my priority. How can we prioritize our well-being, taking care of ourselves, while we still have family and home demands and work demands on us? How do we do that? How do we prioritize?
So, oh, send Elizabeth my love. I love her.
Oh, she wanted me to tell you the same, by the way. My bad.
I really
She
love
did.
this woman. So most of us are almost like robots. We're doing things mechanically. We don't even think. I think it's part of it is because of the society and the development and expansion and the I don't know. I mean, it's the way we grew up, it's the way we are moving in the world. There is the way that we are prioritizing thing, in a way, as you say. But when we start practicing taking care of ourselves, and it needs to start somewhere. It needs to start somewhere. And I'm telling you, even a baby steps will change your life. It's not, doesn't have to be big step. People think, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to go to the gym, I have to be on diet. No, no, I don't believe in diet. I really don't believe in diet. I'm sorry. I've never seen any diet that hold more than, I don't know. I don't believe in that. I do believe in lifestyle and I do believe in reminders. And I do believe that if we start also serving, so we are hosting events, big events, or the employers are hosting the employees. It can start with tweaks that we have, adding instead of all these meat, we just tweak it a little bit. So not be as, oh, this is what they like, this is what they do, this is what they, again, mechanically doing stuff, being more mindful about doing everything in our life, whatever we do, we will prioritize ourselves first. Once we will prioritize ourselves first and start taking care of ourselves, it automatically will translate to taking care of our loved one and having more time to be with them, because you're going to have more time to work. Seriously, I mean, people that I'm teaching meditation and employers that the team already started, and we teach the team how to, the management, the C-suite, how to meditate. They swear that they have more time for everything. So when you are not cluttered, when we are not cluttered in our mind, and we are better people to ourselves, better treating ourselves, everybody around us will feel better and will be better, and we will have more time because we're going to do everything in a very mindful way. And we need to continue reminding. I mean, you know how many times for years I'm doing it with the employers. For years I bring this slide every open enrollment in a different way, and it's a good reminder. You think people are like, oh, okay, now we're going to do it. Sometimes it takes so many years, and it takes, I mean, like I just recently met someone that said, 15 years I'm meditating with you. You come and you do it every year and you share. And, I was checking my phone when you were doing it. But you know what? Last year, something clicked. So it's all a journey. We're all together on this. And remember that we have each other at all times.
What a great way to end. Nama, thank you so much. First of all, it's great to see you. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Tell all of our mutual friends I said hello. I hate not being there, but we've got our mastermind summit coming up next week, and I hate that you can't be with us, but
I know I'm going to
know
Dubai. I'm actually going to Dubai. It's a big event in Dubai, and the Web3 crypto. We are hosting a meditation session, and I'm on a panel. I'll share it with you. I'm on a big panel with as well. So yeah, I'm going to be in
Well,
Dubai.
that's exciting. And I'll give you a hall pass for Dubai. So you don't have to be at the summit. Anyway, thank you so much. I know this has been helpful for everybody in the room, and I really appreciate you showing up today in the Healthcare Lounge. Everybody who's been with us, thank you for joining us. See you next week or next month here in the Healthcare Lounge.